The golden hues of a setting sun painted the horizon as the bustling streets of our little town were starting to show signs of nighttime life. That evening felt like any other, with families making their way to dine out or catch a late movie. My family wasn't an exception. "Come on, Mark, let's go," called out my mother. At 10 years of age, I was bubbling with excitement. My sister had just scored the highest grade in her class, and this was our little way of celebrating first a movie and then a treat of the creamiest gelatos our town had to offer. The local cinema was an old-fashioned one, with velvety seats and a popcorn scent so intoxicating it almost felt tangible. My sister, 3 years my senior, picked the movie, a heartwarming animation, which even as an adult, remained one of my favorites. Our laughter resonated in the dimly lit hall, merging with the soft whispers of other families and the dramatic tunes from the giant screen. As the credits rolled and the cinematic magic ebbed away, we made our way to Ice Cream Paradise, the town's famous ice cream shop. It was nestled in a small nook beside the cinema, the tantalizing aroma of waffle cones luring in anyone who walked past. "A large chocolate one for me," my sister exclaimed, pointing at the chocolate-flavored gelato, her earlier achievement clearly making her choices bold for the night. I settled for my classic strawberry scoop, enjoying the cold, sweet sensation with each bite, while watching my parents share a proud, quiet moment together. They looked at my sister with gleaming eyes, and I could tell they felt they were doing something right. Nighttime approached quicker than we'd have liked, a gentle reminder of the life that awaited school, work, and routines. My father had left work late that day, and as the town clock struck 10, our family's stroll back home began. The streets now quieter, with only the soft glow of streetlights accompanying us. "Did you enjoy the movie?" asked my father, his deep voice filled with warmth. "It was perfect," I replied, my tiny hand wrapped securely within his. The house came into view, its familiar silhouette a symbol of comfort and safety. We approached, each step echoing memories of countless nights just like this one. But as the door creaked open, I felt a sudden chill, like winter had come early. What we were about to discover would change our perception of home forever. Stepping inside, my initial excitement was quickly overshadowed by an unsettling feeling. The once familiar environment of our home seemed strange and unwelcoming. Although my 10-year-old mind couldn't put a finger on it, something was amiss. "Come on, Mark, let's go," my mother's voice had called earlier, but now her tone was different. Not the light-hearted beckoning of a mother to her child, but a voice filled with a hint of anxiety. The cold inside our home was not just a product of the changing seasons, it was as if our house had held its breath, waiting for our return. "Mia," my father began, addressing my mother, "did you leave the back door open?" There was genuine concern in his eyes. "No, Robert." "Why would I?" "You know I always check," she replied, her voice trembling ever so slightly. Making my way to my room, I noticed small incongruities. A family picture frame was askew, a vase in the living room shifted slightly from its regular spot. My heart raced as my feet shuffled faster to my sanctuary. I needed the comfort of my familiar space, with posters of soccer players and drawings of superheroes. However, my attempt at seeking solace was short-lived. From the kitchen, a sharp cry shattered the silence. "Mark! Sophia!" It was my father's voice, deeper and more alarmed than I had ever heard it. I raced to the scene, with my sister hot on my heels. The sight that awaited us was perplexing. Our kitchen, the heart of our home, was in disarray. But it wasn't the usual mess of a rushed breakfast or a big family dinner. Canned foods from our pantry were stacked meticulously in small pyramids on the counter. The television in the adjoining room played a white noise static, its eerie sound echoing through the house. And then, the most disturbing part of all. On our refrigerator, magnetic letters, usually used for fun family notes, had been rearranged to spell out a message, always watching. Frozen in place, my sister and I exchanged glances, the weight of the situation dawning on us. We were not alone in the house, and someone, or something, was watching us. My father was already on the phone, likely with the police, while my mother, trying to maintain her composure, gathered us close, her embrace a small comfort in a sea of confusion and fear. That night, our sanctuary was violated, and the foundation of our family's safety was shaken. The next few days after the incident were a blur of police visits, interviews, and worried neighbors bringing over casseroles as a gesture of support. In their faces, I could see a reflection of our own fear. The thought of an intruder in our community had unnerved everyone. One evening, while my sister and I were playing in my room, we overheard a hushed conversation between our parents. "Robert, we need to look into this. Perhaps there's something we're missing." My mother's voice was anxious. "You think I haven't considered that? The police have found nothing, Mia. No fingerprints, no signs of a break-in. It's as if whoever did this wanted us to know they could get in, but also wanted to remain a shadow," my father responded, the strain evident in his tone. Feeling brave, Sophia whispered to me, "Mark, do you remember the old tales Grandma used to tell us about the house? The old legends?" I nodded, thinking back to our grandmother's stories. Grandma had grown up in a neighboring town and often regaled us with tales of mysteries and old legends, some involving our very house. "You mean the one about the Watcher?" She nodded. "Exactly. Grandma said that long ago, a man lived in this very house who was known to spy on his neighbors, earning him the moniker, the Watcher. Some say he never left and still wanders these halls, making sure he's not forgotten. It was just a story, a folktale to keep us entertained, but in the current context, it seemed eerily relevant. Could the events be somehow connected to this old legend? Were the tales of the Watcher more than just stories?" A knock at my bedroom door startled us, pulling us out of our thoughts. It was our mother, her face pale but trying to put on a brave front. "Kids, we're going to Aunt Clara's for a while. Pack some essentials," she instructed. We didn't need further urging. We knew it was the best decision, especially given the growing fear and unease that gripped our family. Leaving our home was heartbreaking, but the memories of that night were too fresh and painful to ignore. As our car pulled out of the driveway, I looked back at our home, wondering if the Watcher was peering out from behind a window, reminding us of his presence.